Hey everyone, how are we doing today? This is James Sweeney, aka SplitSuit. Welcome back to another video. As part of the Ask SplitSuit question series, a bunch of people asked hand history questions, and today's question comes from Moss, and he just wants me to review this hand played at 6 max online. So let's check it out. So I don't do this too often, but this video is going to be a little more ranty than normal, so I apologize, Moss. I know this is going to suck a little bit, but I really hope that you learn from this, and I hope that anyone else who's making this kind of mistake learns from it as well. So in this exact spot, there's a raise. Here it decides to call. So first and foremost, we're talking about a min raise. Second off, we're talking about 6 max. Third, we have ace king. So just 3-bet here as a pure default. Please stop flatting this unless you have some exact really good reason, like there's someone who's really squeeze happy behind you, or for whatever reason you just have to flat instead of 3-bet. Please just 3-bet, because if you're not 3-betting ace king, what the heck is your 3-bet range? So that's first and foremost on my rant list for this hand, and just for the record, Moss gave me no extra information or comment for this hand, so I'm just going pretty much based in an unknown environment where I'm playing 10 no limit 6 max online, where again, ace king is a pure 3-bet. So we end up getting called, go here, 3-way to it, check, check. Here decides to bet. So far, really happy, at least as played. We definitely want to be firing this ourselves. There's a check raise, and here decides to go away. So let's talk about this for a couple minutes and figure out why we don't ever want to fold this. So there are 3 major pieces of this. First and foremost are the context clues based on our opponent. So this person is playing 10 no limit online, so again, probably not going to be the toughest opponent in the entire world. 2, they started the hand without a full stack. And 3, they only min raise preflop from under the gun. None of these things are great indicators this is some really great guy, really disciplined player, anything like that. In fact, I don't know very many good players that are fantastic at 70-ish big blind play in cash games. So again, really nothing here is indicating that this is a super tight, disciplined dude who's only going to be check raising here with the nuts. Which brings us to point 2, which is combos. So if you think about it in this situation, how many nutted combos are there? Well, there's 3 combos of pocket 6s, 3 combos of pocket 9s, 1 combo of pocket aces, because we block some of that out because we have an ace in our hand, and that's probably about it. So 7 combos of that. If we compare that to the amount of flush draw combos, we're talking like king queen, king jack, maybe king 10, jack 10, queen jack, those kind of things. All of a sudden we can get up to a situation where it's probably like 1-to-1 nutted combos to flush draw combos. And even more so if you think that min raise could be things like 5-6 of hearts, or 7-8 of hearts, or 4-5 of hearts, all those kind of things. Now all of a sudden there can be tons and tons of those flush draws in there. Not tons, but you get what I mean. There's a lot more than maybe first meets the eye. So we're in a situation where, again, there's no indication that he only has the nuts when he check raises. The combos, there's just simply not very many nuttish combos. And then you may say, okay, well, maybe he has like ace-9 suited. Okay, sure, there's 2 combos of that. So again, I'm not going to go into panic mode. And then another question, like, could he overvalue ace-queen? Now all of a sudden we're talking about a bunch of combos of that, or ace-jack, or ace-10, or any of that kind of stuff. So again, I am not panicking that we're only looking at nutted combos here. And if we are panicking about that, that's something that we definitely want to look at, because we may be looking at monsters under the bed where monsters just simply don't exist very often. And then the third and final piece of this puzzle, although there are certainly other things you could consider, but is thinking about your own range, right? So if you're going to bet fold ace-king here, what are you ever giving action with, right? Exclusively 2-pair plus and sets, and again, we're right back to how many combos of that really exist. So you really have to keep that in mind. Now you may say, and this is something that I used to say as well, if my opponent doesn't really know who I am, who the heck cares what my range is? Who the heck cares if I have enough balance in it, blah, blah, blah. But I disagree with that thought process now, and if you simply are never giving action without the ultra nut, you're in a situation where your frequencies are going to be way off, and you're going to be bet folding, or you're just simply going to be folding a very large chunk of the time, and anyone with the slightest bit of awareness is going to make your life a living hell for that. If your frequencies are really bad and you're folding far too often, you become a very easy target, and you want to be extremely cognizant of that in advance. So there's just no way in heck, if I ever flat this preflop, that I'm ever just going to bet fold it here against this player. I'm just going to stack this off and feel very, very good about it and expect to have an edge a very large chunk of the time. Will I be behind sometimes? Sure, but nowhere near enough of the time for me to justify finding the fold button here against someone who just simply doesn't deserve it. So Moss, thank you very much for the hand. Hopefully you're okay with this, and hopefully this helps you never make this kind of mistake or make such a nitty play like this again in the future. Same as always, if you or anyone else has a poke related hand or question, feel free to leave it in my hand drop box. You can find that at splitsuit.com/send. Leave me any hand or question there and I'll get to it as soon as I can. In the meantime, if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, good luck out there and happy grinding.